What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. We got a jam-packed episode this Friday, so not much to talk about in our own personal lives, except we're getting ready for the tour.
We have a ton of great stuff coming up, like just on this show, I would say.
Yes, we do.
If we want to just for Monday, we are going on the road, so we're trying to like keep things bank. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Noah. Between a funny game of trivia on Monday.
Oh yeah,
funny game of trivia on Monday.
Wait,
Joey,
why are you saying funny like that?
I mean, do you remember?
Do you remember how the game went this week?
I was just like,
okay.
Really.
I mean,
anyways,
clearly you don't remember. Okay. Anyway,
no need to dive into it.
I know. Yeah, we don't
like
want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
Joey and Pat from Barstool, our coworkers, are coming in to do Kardashian stuff for Monday. They host Out and About. Very funny. We got great interviews lined up that we're going to release while we're in LA, West Coast.
Yep.
Wherever we are, traveling the country.
Yes, traveling the West Coast.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun. So that's all coming
good.
up on the podcast. And we have a great episode planned for you today. The Portland tickets are still on sale, and the Seattle tickets will be on sale today.
At, noon Pacific time.
Noon Pacific time, the Seattle tickets will be on sale. Finally, we got it all figured out. So make sure, Seattle, if you guys have been waiting, get those tickets. I remember a couple girls came up to me one time in the city and they said, you have such a huge following in Seattle. You need to have a show there. So if we don't see the show out at Seattle, I'm going to be really disappointed in these girls.
Yeah, we did have to change the place.
Yeah.
So this new venue is not the venue that.
Yeah, we did have to change the venue.
Right,
so don't be mad at this venue because they're our backup venue.
They're our backup venue because the other venue ghosted us, which was unfortunate, but that's okay. We figured it out. So make sure you go to the link in the description. Get ready, buy those tickets. Merch is still available. Subscribe to our YouTube channel because if we get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, we're releasing Noah's bar mitzvah video on our YouTube.
Yep.
And it is quite a list of celebrities.
Should I cut up where it's just the celebrity shoutouts, or are we just putting like a 10-minute?
No, I think we put the whole
Like
video.
just like
the
all
whole
my
thing.
baby pictures.
Yes,
and my
Your baby
family.
100%.
pictures. This will be Jessica Simpson, Britney Spears, Beyonce, Usher.
Well, I guess that's up to you. If you want to cut out some of the baby stuff, leave some of it.
People are looking for the celebs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Yes. But I mean,
You learn more about my childhood.
Yes, that's very true. I'm like, if you personally maybe didn't want that, that's totally your choice. Yeah. But if you, for the celebrity good stuff, yes. So once we really want to hit that 100K on YouTube.
This is really going to move the needle.
Yeah,
we're going to hit 100.
Guys, you want to see this video.
No, trust me, you want to see the video. So make sure you subscribe. We want to get to 100K. But let's get into today's show because we have a lot to talk about.
We do. Can I give one special shout out?
It's your show.
To go into before we go into the topics, because it's not worth, I didn't want to ask for it to be a full topic because there's not much to say about it, but Nick and Priyanka's baby name has been revealed, and it's Malti Marie Chopra Jonas. It's very pretty. That's all I wanted to say. Shout out to them. The name is out.
Beautiful.
I felt like I had to at least mention it. Big news in the Jonas world. Sometimes I forget that they have a baby.
Yeah, so do I. But good for them.
It's just not out as much, but very sweet.
That is very sweet.
That's all I had to say about it.
All right, good. So let's get into today's topics. We're going to be talking about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Devin is going to join us because she has been watching every single trial. She's been taking notes on it. She knows the ins and outs of this entire case, and we want everyone to learn about it. We're also going to be talking about A$AP Rocky getting arrested after landing from Barbados. He was arrested right off the plane and then released on bond. And we're also going to be talking about Joe Alwyn revealing whether or not him and Taylor Swift are engaged, and a Q&A segment where we answer your questions on things you want advice about. You guys, I'm not sure you people like the high school one, so let's get in.
Really?
Yeah, I saw some people being like, we don't care about your high school, which I would like to say is always the minority because I'm sure people enjoyed it otherwise. But we're going to be giving you guys advice. Not sure if we're cut out for that, but we'll try our best. So let's get into it, starting off with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. For all those dog owners out there, you know that there's no better feeling than giving your dog a new dog treat, a new toy in their life, seeing how excited they get. They're wagging their tail all over the place, jumping up and down. I'm telling Norman, sit, paw, high five, so that he finally gets this treat. And that's what I'm talking about with Jiminy's. Jiminy's makes sustainable dog food and treats made from cricket protein. It's made with cricket protein, which uses less water and land to produce and drastically eliminates greenhouse gas emissions versus traditional animal protein dog food. One bag of Jiminy's cricket protein treats saves 220 gallons of water versus the traditional animal protein treats. It includes delicious, nutritional, plant-based ingredients like sweet potatoes, blueberries, peanut butter, and pumpkin. You know dogs love blueberries and peanut butter. I know that Norman does. So this is easy for dogs to digest because cricket protein contains a fiber that's prebiotic, which supports a healthy gut in your dog, which we know we all want because dealing with a dog that has digestive issues can always be a problem. You feel bad for them. You can tell in your face that they don't look like they feel well, and that's always, it's never good. You feel bad for them. You're looking at your dog and you're like, I wish I could read your mind, but you know they don't feel well. That won't be the case with Jiminy's. The dogs love the taste, and the nutritions are tremendous, and your dog will benefit from it greatly. So to learn more and save 25% on your first purchase, go to jiminys.com/chicks25 and use code chicks25 at checkout. That's JIMINYS.com/chicks25 with code chicks25. So this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial has been taking place all week.
Yep.
Kind of flew under the radar a little bit, but now the stories are popping up all over the place. And Devin here has watched every trial, I think, that you can, because it's on like the Law and Crime Network on YouTube, and you could just watch it live, which I think is so insane that you could watch like celebrities' trials live, which you have been doing.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I think that they wanted it live because I think for Johnny, this is just a way for him to tell his side of the story. After watching, I don't even know if he can win the case.
It does feel like they are having this also public too, because they are both really trying to win over the court of public opinion. Yeah. Like, not even necessarily like win the case or lose the case. It feels like they're trying to prove so much to the world who was right and who was wrong, because it has now affected their careers so much, where they're like, I feel like for Johnny Depp, if he's like, oh, if I look good coming out of this, like, it's going to help me. And same for Amber Heard. But in reality, it just kind of feels like everyone's coming out looking bad.
I think if anything, I've seen more people on Johnny's side.
Yeah.
I've seen more people on Johnny's side, but I think a couple of things. I saw a video of him saying that he wanted to take the time because his friends and his family, and he doesn't want to seem like a fraud to them because they think he's a big liar now because of everything that's coming out. And now I want to know more about the text messages that were revealed about Johnny Depp, because I did think that people were on Johnny's side. People were like, it seems like Amber's a crazy one, but then these text messages were revealed that did not make him look good.
Well, I think that everybody was so on Johnny's side in the beginning was because he was Johnny was telling his side of the story.
Amber hasn't been on the stand yet.
Yeah, and Johnny wasn't even cross-examined. Like yesterday, he was cross-examined for 10 minutes, and he was starting today.
Today he's being cross-examined,
and
right?
Yeah, I didn't watch all of it, obviously, because I'm here, but
I watched the last 10 minutes. I watched some of that was what we had on yesterday, the cross-examination, and I don't know if it was like the lawyer or what, and I guess you really don't, when do you ever actually sit and fully watch trials happen? But the way it felt like Johnny was already getting kind of fed up a little bit, because the guy was asking him, like, he was trying to set up a narrative on the timeline where it was like, you're claiming that you lost pirates, but you really, like, there were articles about you not probably being out of that job before Amber even came out with the article. So they're like trying to set up this timeline, and he was just asking like the same things, like, you signed this document in 2016. Is that your signature? He's like, yes. Okay, and that is your signature on the document? Yes, it's my signature. Okay, one more time. That is your signature on the He's like, for the third time. Yes, it's my signature.
So when they cross-examined Johnny Depp's best friend for like 40 years, he like, the thing that I think that Johnny has on his side a little bit, and I mean, just generally not related to the case, but just like people believing him or his story, his him and his friends, when they're telling their stories, are super charismatic. Even when his friend Isaac was being cross-examined, obviously it's not his case. I think he was a little more calm and relaxed, which made it probably easier for him to say what he wanted to say. But what Amber's lawyers were trying to do was get Johnny's friend Isaac to admit that he's never seen Amber, or he doesn't know what Amber would look like if she put makeup on herself. So they were like, do you know what kind of foundation she uses? He said no. Do you know what kind of concealer? Whatever. They kept doing it, and they asked that round of questions like 3 times. By the end of it, the guy was just laughing, and they the judge had to be like, stop laughing, but he was just laughing because he's like, this is so ridiculous. I think just generally, obviously the entire thing's super sad, but the guy got so fed up. They were like, so you don't know her makeup skill? And he goes, no, but it can't be that good because I've seen her get it done by other people, so she can't be that good at makeup. Right. It doesn't sound funny when I say it, but this guy's like a Brooklyn New Yorker.
Yeah, and it's just the details do seem kind of insane as far as it goes into so many of these things. And yes, fully we have not Amber, and I think either maybe it was today or end of today or tomorrow, Amber's supposed to take the stand. And that'll be very interesting on what she has to say. But they just clearly had a terrible relationship. And there have been so many things they're using. It's just to make this all public is so crazy. They're sharing these photos of Johnny passed out, drunk, all these drugs are on the table, all these crazy things to try and paint each other in these ways and to say these different things about each other. And then I think they had a therapist that they had seen, I don't think many times, it seemed like they had seen the therapist a few times. And the therapist used the term mutual abuse. She was like, I felt like there was a lot of mutual abuse between them in their relationship. Yeah. And that really seems to describe it the best, where it's I don't know how you win or lose a case like this because they both definitely did a lot of wrong things.
Yeah. Now, why do you think that there's no way that he could win the case, but she can?
Because the case is it's a defamation case for libel, which is written defamation. I've only taken one communications law class ever last year, but I do know that I learned that.
I had to take one too, and I do barely remember it.
And I don't think that he can win because Johnny's team has to prove that article that Amber wrote for the Washington Post is what made him lose all of his jobs. Yeah. So they're trying to prove that he lost his jobs before that. Not only that, they're trying to they're trying to prove that he was an abuser. Yeah. And for that, they're leaning a lot on his drug use or his his alcohol abuse and stuff like that, which Johnny has admitted to. And his side has tried to kind of paint that there's no denying that. So his side has tried to paint it Johnny didn't use this stuff to party. He used it to cope and to numb his pain. A lot of it, for Johnny's side, they went a lot into his background of his life. So his mom had been pretty abusive towards his dad, and Johnny was saying that his dad, he never saw his dad hit his mom. His dad was always walk out. The worst he's seen his dad do was punch a wall 2 or 3 times. And Johnny's dad eventually got up and left. And Johnny was like, I didn't understand it then. I was really upset, but now I kind of see it. And his whole thing was that he used that with Amber. So if Amber started to fight with him, then Johnny said he would leave, or he would go to somewhere else. And he would say his biggest place for escape was the bathroom. But then it seems like Amber's side's trying to make it oh, well, you were going in the bathroom, you were passing out because you were on drugs, you weren't escaping what Johnny was doing. So I just don't know that they can prove that article says anything. Amber also doesn't mention she doesn't mention Johnny's name. She doesn't mention anything in that. The only thing she says was the biggest, I think, sentence is that she became a face for domestic violence.
Yeah, I think that the whole thing is obviously very sad because of both things that are coming out about both of them. I do think in some way it's unfair to Johnny Depp to be painted in a light of oh, he's just, he was addicted to drugs and alcohol, so he must have done all these things, and that's not true either. And so I feel bad for him in that way, that some people will look at that oh, he must have done these things because he was an alcoholic or whatever. That's not fair to him. I think that they both have their issues, and I think that that's very clear. I think it's coming to light that it's very clear that they both did things wrong to each other. Now, I don't know who was worse, but for a little bit, it kind of felt like a couple of years ago, it felt like Amber Heard was being painted as this like, oh, like everything, Johnny Depp is doing everything wrong, and like people were more on her side, but now it seems like it's kind of going Johnny's way a little bit, where people are like, all right, well, things are coming out about Amber Heard that do not make her look great at all.
I also think for her, because
And this could also, I feel like when she takes the stand, that could turn as well.
I also don't know, like when they cross-examine her, she is on, like, there are voice recordings of her saying, I hit you, I didn't punch you, but I hit you. It wasn't a punch, but that is admitting to hitting someone. I think also she looks worse because she came out saying, oh, Johnny abused me, and then there's so much evidence of her saying that she also abused him, and people are pissed because, well, Johnny Depp has way more fans than Amber Heard does.
Right.
So Johnny being, like, blacklisted from Hollywood and she's not, people are like, well, she's admitted, she said that she's done all these things and she still has all these opportunities.
Right. And it did seem like Johnny was trying to say like she was capitalizing on a time where it was maybe elevating her status of notoriety and just being known in the world and things like that. But it does say something that you fight it this hard where you're taking it to this level where now all of your dirty laundry is being aired out on a live stream, like every single thing that people can dig up and find. They're going into text messages that Johnny sent, which were pretty bad text messages. They're going into
the one about
the finger
fucking her dead corpse.
Yeah,
that's really bad.
Yeah, like that's some that's some dark. Like I feel like they are both
dark,
haunted people.
So Johnny's side obviously didn't bring that up, but they kind of alluded to it so that he could speak his piece in saying it. And he said he was talking about some like writing style and how that he read something and the way that he talks is pretty dark, and that essentially, like, I guess he was trying to say like, oh, I was just talking to my friends. These isn't an actual thing that I would ever do.
Yeah, that's very confusing because you do say stuff to your friends that you wouldn't say to other people or
but
do,
not
like that. I would never
No.
text you guys saying I was gonna fuck somebody's dead corpse.
No, that's
just
disturbing.
really disturbing.
And
It's really disturbing.
I feel like Johnny, maybe, here's the thing, I only know so much on Johnny because he's
the one speaking.
He's the one speaking right
Yeah.
now, and his side is the only people that spoke. So obviously things are gonna look
Yeah.
bad for Amber right now. I feel like he's trying to admit, yes, I wasn't a great person, without saying like, but I wasn't a great person, yes, but I never physically did anything.
Right.
Which is, I think, what they're trying to get at. But then again, emotional abuse, all that kind of stuff, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I just think, I don't know if he can win. He's just speaking his piece.
My personal opinion is that there's probably a lot of emotional abuse between the two of them, and like that, like the mutual abuse, like what that therapist had said.
I think they were both bad to each other.
Yeah,
They were awful.
100%.
I also watched this and I'm like, I don't understand how you can say, like, when they divorced, how you could say, oh, there was love for each other. That just doesn't feel like love.
Yeah.
No,
No.
but like so much love that they fucking hate each other.
If you think
like
that's
what
love,
it feels like.
But if that's your
idea of love,
then you're just so
messed
your
up.
idea of love is warped, and that might not be like that could be a thing from childhood that you don't know what true like how to genuinely be treated.
Like
a
you saw
human.
things growing up that you now just don't know. Now what's with the James Franco stuff?
So James Franco was on. He was filming a movie with Amber Heard, and apparently Amber Heard had confided in him saying stuff about Johnny. Also, apparently Johnny was pissed because I think she had to kiss James Franco in the movie.
Okay.
So he was like pissy that she was kissing James Franco. Also, if you look back, they essentially both cheated on their each other's spouses when they filmed their movie together, The Rum Diaries, because they kissed for a scene, and then after the scene, they apparently kissed again in Johnny's trailer. Johnny says that he was more like, okay, we can't do this. This is bad. They never talked until the press tour. When it was the press tour, at the time of the press tour, they both were out of their relationships, and they rekindled. So, like, I'm sure Johnny's like, you're not kissing this guy on screen. This is like
What happened with us?
Probably, I would imagine. It also seemed like maybe he could be because there's another instance where like a woman was touching her leg and he was like, don't touch her leg. Maybe he was just like really jealous.
Very
which again,
jealous,
like if you're that
Yeah.
level jealous, still
Yeah.
not healthy.
Yeah, there could have been a lot of jealousy between them as well. I feel like this is what the therapist had said, that Amber had a jackhammer style of talking. She was very amped up. He had trouble talking at a similar pace. She loved him. He loved her. She believed that she wasn't stupid. She knew what they were doing wasn't healthy. It's just like they clearly could not communicate. There's also like everything with the severed finger too. It's crazy.
Such bizarre
because
stories.
you do
I don't even
remember-
you know the story I'm
I
thinking
know.
of, and I don't even want to say it.
I know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they talked about that.
I know.
Like
it's
they had to
gross.
bring that up.
No,
and
they have to bring
show
up
the
all
picture.
these.
Like,
They
have
showed
to
the
show
photo.
the jury that there was actual questions that was like, how do you know this wasn't your dog? And
Yeah.
he's like, well, because I've watched my dogs, do their thing for so long.
I saw that, and he was
It's-
like, "Our dogs are small; they can't produce whatever this was."
Yeah, which is just it's
Ugh.
Yeah. If you don't know
That's
what we're
fucking
talking about,
nasty.
Yeah.
she
Just say it. I just
allegedly.
can't say
you
it.
can't say the word. She allegedly pooped
fecal. They were calling it fecal matter.
fecal matter. I'm just gonna go with
She
the
fecal mattered.
layman's terms.
Desiccated.
There was feces
Yeah,
There were
on
feces.
their bed.
on his side.
on his side of the bed.
What an animal you have to be to do that,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
Can you
but-
imagine?
At the end of the day,
And
do we? But like, could that have been a dog? Yeah.
It could have been, but I'll say this. I mean, I don't know for sure, but dogs, they pee on beds, but they don't often squat down and
Yeah.
poop
No, you are right.
on a
You
bed.
are right. That is
right?
true.
How often you hear about a dog pooping on a
Yeah.
bed? Peeing on a bed?
Yeah.
Yes. Pooping on a bed?
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Dogs can hold in their
It's not
poop.
like a firm
but think
enough-
about it. Dogs can hold in their poop longer than they can
Well,
hold
no,
in their
dogs
pee.
definitely poop in a house if you don't let them out.
Oh, of course.
No,
but they can hold it
like,
in.
actually on the bed.
They can hold it in
Not on the
longer
bed,
than
yeah.
Norman has peed on my bed a bunch of times.
'Cause I
Has he
think even a
pooped?
dog would
Never.
know, like, I don't want to poop where I'm gonna like lay down on the bed. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the finger, I guess he claimed that he lied about the finger thing, because he didn't want to put her name into it, but he claims that she threw a bottle.
Yeah,
And it severed his finger, and then he had to go to the hospital. He had to go to the ER to get it stitched up, and he had told the doctors that he like cut it himself or something.
Yeah.
Like he didn't say it was.
he said that the doctor had said to him, like the doctor's kind of trying to call him out on his bullshit, and was like,
Yeah.
this looks like an injury of velocity, which would mean like
Right,
which would be
something was,
whatever.
yeah.
I don't know. The other thing, we're like, I try to like tell myself this because I feel like when I listen to people, also they're telling like really sad stories, so you want to believe them. You want to imagine that nobody would make this story up, but I just lost my train of thought. I completely lost
Is it
my-
about the way that they look at the way she's looking at him and he's looking at her during this trial?
No, I completely forget.
with
It was
something
something
with the
about
finger?
the finger. He got his finger severed. What did I just say?
That the velocity. The
And
doctor,
you want to believe their
I
stories.
want to believe their stories. He was saying, what did he say? Why did I completely blank on this?
I don't know.
Well, can I add something while
Yeah,
you think?
go ahead.
So I saw this on TikTok, and obviously, I mean, not everybody's a fucking genius on TikTok,
Yeah.
but it was something that I found interesting, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree. It's just to propose the question of the way that Amber Heard looks at Johnny Depp when he's talking versus how Johnny Depp looks at Amber.
Well, Johnny
is
doesn't
like
barely look.
Johnny barely looks at her, and Amber's staring at him the entire time.
Yeah.
And now I like I said, I do not know. I'm not an expert. I'm just proposing the question and the thoughts that people were saying, that they said that the way that Amber is staring at Johnny is odd for somebody who endured such abuse from him, because most people are saying you wouldn't be able to look at your abuser dead in the face for that long the way that she's been doing.
The same.
So I don't know. That's just what I
Yeah.
saw, and I don't know.
I also saw something that said, which I don't necessarily fully see it. There's
everybody's
one thing.
different.
People saw.
Yeah, no, and it's
people
true.
said
Yeah.
that they think that she's copying his outfits. Like the day after he wears something, she'll wear something similar. But I'm like, I don't know. They're both just wearing suits.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
thing that I was like, because obviously now that I have this in my head, I'm like looking for it. The only thing, I don't think I've seen her with glasses before today, and today she was like, Johnny will like put on his glasses, take off his glasses to like read things. Then she started doing that. So I don't know. I could
very
totally
odd.
be reading into that.
And like you said, people are different. Maybe she could be staring at him, and she could have endured that.
Look,
you
she
don't
certainly
know.
seems like a different breed, is what I'm.
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
So both of them, both of them are not your.
Both
typical
of them are odd.
person you run up like you meet on the street.
Yeah.
Like they're both. So I don't know. This is going to
They're
continue to go on.
artistes.
Yeah, and when this comes out, like she takes the stand, I believe tomorrow.
no,
I don't know.
the trial's 5 weeks long. This is week 2. It's
5 weeks long.
It's Monday through Thursday.
Holy
Wow.
shit!
Oh, Monday through Thursday. Okay, so she won't be till next
She won't be
week.
till next
Oh my
Monday.
god!
Yeah, I think the other thing is there's now different.
There's like a
from-
lot of people taking the stand
Oh, I have a whole list of this
of
is
like
Let's
of
hear
like
the- let's
people,
hear
this
the
is
list.
her
right? Like
Well, the big name people are more probably interesting because there's people on here. You're like, who is that?
yeah,
Oh, Elon Musk is on here.
yeah.
Elon Musk will be taking the stand.
He could because
He could, in defense of
there was
Amber.
a rumor that he had a threesome with
yeah.
Cara Delevingne and
Yeah.
Amber. And she's saying that they were like they dated but only after whatever. The only person that I wanted to see on here that wasn't on here, I want to see the makeup artist. Because that's the person that's closest
Right.
to your face. Like, it's weird. I mean, obviously, well, maybe not because it's Amber's friend. So, well, I don't know, because I feel like if you brought your makeup artist and your makeup artist was like, yeah, I did her makeup and I had to cover bruises.
Paul Bettany, I think it was on the list too, because he's the one.
This is
remember,
the list.
he's
Yeah.
the one that sent. He's the one that Johnny Depp sent the text like, "Let's burn her. Like we're gonna like, let's burn Amber. Let's
Oh,
drown her before we burn her."
The security guard?
No, Paul Bettany is another actor.
There's a security guard that spoke.
So none of these names are
too.
too familiar to me.
Elon Musk, James Franco are
Elon
the
Musk
biggest.
and James Franco, obviously. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a long list of people.
Wait,
But these people might
Jennifer Howell.
may not even take the stand. Like, they just had them on
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Melanie Iglesias, what? Why is she involved?
I don't know
Oh,
who that
that's a different Melanie. That's Melanie Iglesias. Melanie Iglesias was on Girl Code and she dated Vinny from the Jersey Shore. You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
yes.
That her name is spelled a little differently.
Wait, I want to look it up because I feel like you got to bring the makeup artist in.
Oh,
Amber Heard's-
I thought Paul
Yeah.
Bettany was on here, but I
The
guess
makeup
he's
artist
not.
would be very interesting because
The other thing, they kept bringing up makeup
Laura
so much, and I was
Wasser,
like, if you're gonna
the
question
big
in
celebrity
my head,
divorce attorney.
if you're gonna question him on makeup, then I feel like you gotta have the makeup artist to back it and be like, yeah, there was bruises,
Yeah,
because they're trying to argue that there was no bruises.
Who's David Spiegel?
I don't know. Is that somebody?
I don't know.
There's
David
probably
Spiegel's-
names on here where we
Well, who's
recognize
Evan
faces.
Evan Spiegel is the Snapchat guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of names on here that are Laura
Big that we don't
Wasser.
know.
Did you just say that?
Yeah. I thought Paul Bettany was on here, but I guess not. But he is the one that those text messages were sent to.
It's so
So it's really just yeah, it's just like, and yeah, of course, like they're gonna go through. I feel like that is a very classic take of like coming for anybody's credibility when they abuse drugs and alcohol. Like that, of course, that like I feel like that is
Right,
where
that's-
her,
and
But they're
that's
trying
the
to say
angle
that
her
Amber-
lawyer is gonna come from too.
Amber was also they're trying to say that Amber also
Johnny
was apparently
Depp's.
like,
I think he said that at the wedding, everyone was on MDMA. Like
it sounds like they
crazy.
do
He
MDMA.
was like,
sounds
everyone
like
was
they're
on drugs at the wedding.
They're on it all the time,
Yeah,
all the time.
And that is very brain altering.
yeah.
Like
it
you
is.
can, I bet their stories don't match up in some way because they were on drugs.
The other thing that's
Yeah.
confusing me is that they're like they could get like they were aggressive when they were on it, but I feel like ecstasy makes you feel good. So like, how does I don't
Right.
I
And
don't
I guess
know-
it affects everyone differently if you
I don't
have
know
that
drugs
sort of like addiction.
like I don't know
yeah.
it enough to be like I don't like to
Right. Because you only hear stories
Yeah.
of people on ecstasy being like, oh my God, we got married and like
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We made a sex tape and all that stuff. So it is interesting, but obviously it affects everybody differently. And I think that these two are both sickos. Like I really think that they're sick. Both of them.
Yeah, and clearly, you know,
One might
Johnny's
be more
trying-
sick than the
yeah.
other, but
Johnny's trying to make a point of taking the stand, and like you said, trying to prove to like friends and family and like his kids that
apparently, I don't know.
so
how
of course
old
it'd take a
his son
toll
was.
on his kids.
His son would like go into school and they'd be like, "Oh, so your dad's like a wife beater."
Yeah, and I think back when this was all happening, when it first started, his
They were
exes,
like 16 and 14.
his exes came out and they were like, "We never endured
They
any
backed him,
sort of
but
abuse,"
I don't
and
know.
they backed him up, and they were like, "We've never had a relationship with him like this." So obviously, every relationship's different, and if you get two people together that are just toxic for each other, which happens,
Yeah.
like
So volatile.
shit's gonna happen.
The other thing he has admit to being addicted to substances at times. When you're with someone like that, you have to be so like tender to them that it's like, if you have like, it's like sandpaper, just like, it's like just friction.
Yeah.
You know, it's nobody's like easing up on either one of each other, which is like, there's no understanding for each other.
Right.
It's like when Ben Affleck said, and he worded it wrong, when he said that Jennifer Gardner, it drove him to the alcohol.
to alcohol,
But he
yeah.
didn't mean her specifically. He just meant being unhappy in a marriage.
Yeah.
It's like that could have happened here where like he was unhappy and then started using again or whatever.
The big thing also with him was saying that, I keep saying the big thing, everything's huge apparently. But he said that, so he had watched his mom have a failed suicide attempt after his dad left, and he said that Amber knew, you know, his past and was basically exploiting it. And so when they would fight, Johnny said he would try to leave, and if he would leave, then there was times that Amber would be like, "I can't live without you. Like if you leave, like I'm gonna die. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna do this." Those aren't direct quotes. This is like what he was alluding
some
to.
serious psychological warfare.
But because of that, he was like, "Oh my god, I can't." He obviously cared for her enough that he was like, "If I am gonna like make this woman kill herself, like I would rather be with her."
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to get at, but
it's nuts. It's crazy, and it does just feel like because of what the case really is.
yeah,
When it gets to the end, it's either going to be like, oh, Johnny wins, and like the article is like that. I don't really know if there's
the damage is all still
like it's
there.
like all of this
just
comes
seems
out.
like everything that's comes out is just making it worse for both of them, and
Right.
there's no real winner in the
like
end.
everything
I
comes
think
out,
both
and
of
there's
them.
and like if Amber wins this case, it's just like I was
thinking
I
about,
think
like,
both of them are
how-
really never gonna
Yeah.
work again. Like
After-
like
after playing these things, like the tapes of like specifically, well, he's out of work. For her side though, like she still
She's
has
still in
films.
Aquaman.
That's what I'm saying. It comes out next year. Like
yeah.
they're gonna go through this. Or is whoever, I don't know who Justice League's like parent company is. Are they
Yeah, it's
gonna
all
look at that?
DC.
Are they gonna look at that and then be like, we can't?
I don't know.
Or
she
the other
I think she almost wasn't in Aquaman too.
The other
and
thing that I
she
thought
is.
of, could it be like the only thing to compare it to, like Ansel Igor
Yeah.
in West Side Story, like, you know, it's kind of like a warning, like, hey, when we filmed this, this didn't happen. We're still gonna release the movie.
Army Hammer and the movie that came out recently with Army Hammer in it. It's like the way they marketed that movie is you would have never known that Army Hammer was in it because they cut him out of every trailer, all the promos, and it's like we all saw what Army Hammer was doing.
I feel like that could just start happening in Hollywood
in general, because it's all these people, and you think that you know, all these people have dark secrets. Like a lot of them are really dark, and you just have no idea, and it's all swept under the rug until you do a 5-week trial where they have no choice but to just put everything out there.
Also, I feel like maybe people who are super, maybe this is like a stereotype, of people who are super like into their art and into whatever and like can lean into those emotions are because they have so much trauma.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them use it as an excuse in some way, like, this is my art.
Yeah.
Right? Like when they do something like really fucked up, they're like, it's my art drove me to this.
Yeah.
Just like all this, like, obviously they're throwing around all these massive numbers, right? These tens of millions of dollars and damages, but apparently the president of the DC Films was present for a 3-hour deposition to testify on the subject of Amber Heard's presence in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. While Heard was ultimately brought back for the March 2023 release, her option was initially declined. He said the initial decline was due to chemistry concerns with Jason Momoa. Issues between them had been publicly referenced in the past.
But that could just be a BS thing that they want to throw, like, because
Yeah.
they don't want to say whatever, so they just throw
Right,
that
exactly. They say like, oh, bad chemistry. She can't. But it was really like, because all of this was playing out at that time also too, when they were making some of these decisions. So
We'll see how it plays out.
I know. I guess
we'll have to keep
it's-
following the
Well,
case.
Amber
5
also,
weeks,
Amber
and we're on week 2.
Amber
Countersued
countersued
for $100 million. Yeah.
So there's going to be another trial after
Yeah.
this. Or she could just settle, because if she wins this one, maybe she's just like,
Yeah.
What's your favorite Amber Heard movie?
Never back down.
That's the only one I can think of.
It's
What
a
else
great,
has she been in?
great movie.
Great movie.
Never Back Down. I've watched maybe
So
50
many times.
Great
The
movie.
Soulja Boy remix that he comes out to, Cam,
Gajande.
Gajande,
Yeah.
or however you
That guy,
pronounce it.
the villain in that movie is just a psycho.
And he's
that's what-
sick.
that's what
That's
I'm
what I'm talking
talking
about.
she's a Magic Mike.
Yeah, the first one.
Never Back Down.
Never Back
Evan
Down.
Peters. I had
yeah.
a big Sean Ferris is his name.
Mm-hmm.
I watched literally every single thing.
He was in Sleepover, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've watched literally Yours, Mine, and Ours.
Yeah.
I've watched like every movie
I was
he's in.
obsessed with Cam,
Love
whatever his
him.
name was, and then he was in Twilight.
Ugh.
So good. All right, well,
Look, this is clearly very ongoing.
yes, it is.
This is just the beginning.
This is just the
I feel
beginning.
like people are amped up now and don't realize how much longer it's going to go, just because Johnny Depp's
Totally.
talking and nobody knew who, like, Isaac the best friend was, or
Yeah.
Amber's.
Yeah.
And
like,
next week
assistant
we'll
and
hear
stuff like
from
that.
Amber and see what she has to say.
Keep watching, Dev, so you can
Yeah.
get back
I-
on and
trust
keep
me,
us updated on the
I'm
case. And
invested.
also, you want to be a lawyer now.
Yeah,
and
out of
Noah
nowhere.
doubted you, so
Yeah, Noah told me I
you'll
was
have to
gonna be a
keep up
lawyer.
with the case so you can
Okay.
prove it to him.
Yep.
I want to get good with, like, the jargon.
Yeah. Come with big words like
Come
that.
with big words, yeah.
The big word is hearsay. That's hearsay.
Yeah, yeah.
Hearsay.
So
Yeah.
if you say, like, if I'm talking, I can't. If I'm giving a test, like, if I'm testifying, I can't say, well, Rhea said blah 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 blah. They're like,
Your Hon-
that's hearsay.
Your
It
Honor,
is-
that's hearsay.
It is interesting to watch like in real life
Object.
because you do watch so many like shows where they say it, and it's so much of lawyers being like objection, hearsay,
Like Big Little Lies.
objection.
I just
yeah,
watched recently.
What is the word? Strip it from the record.
Scratch it from the record.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep. Your Honor, that's hearsay.
Yeah.
In Big Little Lies. Good show.
It's quite interesting. What, it goes on forever. I will say it goes, for me at least, because I'm so interested. It goes fast. Like, I don't realize I'm watching 7-hour things.
It's like a school day.
They're like lunch break. I'm like, all right, I gotta go.
I gotta go get my lunch.
I'll go take my lunch. Then.
If
Lunch
you're on a
break.
jury and like a trial like this, I bet you're pumped, right? It's
Oh.
like,
No,
this
but
is
you
how-
Oh,
can't.
I don't know.
You
I
But it
don't
also
think
goes
so.
on forever. No, but
you're
you're
not-
Johnny Depp's right there.
Right. No.
Yeah,
If
but
you're a
no.
celebrity case.
Yeah.
If you have a celebrity case with a big you're not supposed to know who they are.
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed
mean,
to know
it's
anything
it's
about it.
impossible to
You're
not
not
know
gonna
who
Johnny
Johnny
Depp
Depp
is.
is.
No,
no,
no.
if
You're
you-
supposed to have like a like if you're being honest and you're supposed to be like, you could be like, I've seen one movies and I don't
Yeah.
really know much about him.
Yeah,
But like
if
in
you
reality,
admit to him
you know he's
watching
one of the
movies-
biggest stars in the world.
One of the witnesses.
This has
for-
been going for the Kardashians too. That's why they have had to like go through jurors because they have to vet the people that aren't like going to be
what do
totally
they say
biased.
when they throw it out, like the whole case, and they have to redo it again?
I don't know what that's called yet. I'll learn.
She'll be
Yeah.
back
But-
with more terms.
They had a scratch. They took her entire testimony. This woman went and did hours of like whatever testifying. The judge asked her,
Oh, I
"Have you
saw
seen
that,
Have you
yeah.
seen this online?" And she said, "I've seen a few clips."
Be
Scratched
like,
everything
oh,
she
yeah,
said.
I was in love with Amber Heard.
Yeah, yeah, yep,
All right. We'll see what happens.
yep. Sometimes you are looking for physical symptoms, physical answers for why, headaches, teeth grinding, maybe even digestive issues.
Yep.
Noted problem that can be indicators of stress. You may think that like, oh, I got to be sick. There's something physically wrong with me. And then you start doom scrolling. You have all these experiences. And then it maybe even makes your stress even worse. Stress can show up in all kinds of ways. And in a world that's telling you to do more, sleep less, and grind all the time, this is your reminder to take care of yourself, do less, and maybe try some therapy. Therapy is so great. I do think, you look for these reasons of why something's going wrong, but you got to remember to take care of your mental health. Your mental health is so important. And if you are just looking to have a little bit of a release, get things out there, talk to someone, BetterHelp is amazing. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy. Give it a try and see if online therapy can help lower your stress. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Chicks in the Office listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/office. That's BetterHelp.com/office.
So shocking news this week, A$AP Rocky was arrested after landing at LAX after being in Barbados with Rihanna. He walked off the plane, got arrested right away. Apparently, this is having to do with an incident that happened in November of 2021 where A$AP Rocky allegedly shot an acquaintance a couple times, and he was released on bail, $550,000 bond. The whole thing is pretty shocking because I don't remember hearing about this incident back in November, and it's got to be pretty jarring to walk off the plane at LAX and get put into handcuffs immediately, especially if Rihanna's there. She's very pregnant. It's got to be a very stressful situation. On top of all the cheating rumors this week, they are not having a good week.
Yeah, this is nuts because this is something that was not in the media. Like, we did not know that this happened in November of 2021. So we see A$AP Rocky, like, we literally just saw pictures of them on jet skis in Barbados. They're having a great time. Rihanna's about to pop any second now. And he comes back to LA, immediately arrested. There are a lot of rumors flying around and things going on. I am obviously not very locked into the members of the A$AP mob, but A$AP Bari posted on his Instagram stories.
A$AP Bari, famously mentioned in Blunt Thotty.
Yes. He, known as the, known for that.
Yeah.
He posted on his Instagram stories saying that A$AP Relly snitched on A$AP Rocky.
The A$APs
Called him a fucking rat.
The A$APs going behind each other's back is not what you want to see.
No.
It's not. You don't want to see the A$APs getting mad at each other, and that seems what's taking place right now. You can't shoot somebody, A$AP Rocky. You can't.
No. And I don't know if it
very
was
upsetting.
Like,
very upsetting for me.
I don't know if it was like an argument. I don't know if it was something that, like, I don't know if it was, if the acquaintance was A$AP Relly and then he, like, told the police what happened, or if he heard about it, it said something. I have no idea. It's just that this is the rumor on the street.
How are they calling A$AP Rocky a rat if they're the one ratting on him?
I have no
about
idea.
Rats, like in this scenario, like
Rats in this, you know how I feel about rats. In
Yeah,
general.
what are you gonna? What
if
do you
it's
think?
like if it's you're gonna go to jail for however many years to protect someone else.
Yeah, but in this situation, I don't think the person was going to jail.
Okay, no, yeah, I'm
Like,
more
it wasn't
saying,
like
situation,
someone
it
was
seems like
taking
nobody-
the fall
yeah.
for him.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
If
Like
it was like
6ix9ine,
I'm
like-
not taking the fall for if I'm getting accused of something, right?
Yeah.
And I know for a fact somebody else did it, and my life is on the
And you're
line.
about
Like,
to
I'm
go to
going to jail. I'm ratting.
Yeah.
Like in that
Which
situation,
is like what 6ix9ine did, basically.
yeah, in that situation, I'm not going to be the one to go to jail for somebody else. Okay,
Yeah.
Then I think that's ridiculous. But in terms of just ratting on somebody, but you're not in jeopardy of getting in trouble, then no.
I mean, I don't
that's
really know
different.
what's
That's
going
different.
on in this A$AP Relly's man's life. Like maybe he was using this. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't already in trouble. He just used this as a way to get out of it, or maybe he just fucking told police. what
A$AP Rocky
happened,
must have done
or-
something to him to piss him off.
Yeah.
And so he ratted.
So-
He's in love with Rihanna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Could be.
I know it's a non-fatal shooting.
It was actually Lil Uzi who told.
Yeah.
A non-fatal shooting. It was previously
Drake.
unreported. The victim, who was an acquaintance, claimed Rocky fired multiple shots during an argument. He sought medical treatment for a minor injury after one of the bullets grazed his left hand. The LAPD said Rocky and 2 additional males fled on foot. Apparently, they also had no idea that this was happening. Totally caught off guard. The police have been working on this for like the last week. And when he landed in LA, he really had no idea that this was happening. The arrest that caught him and Rihanna off guard, and that cops also raided his home in LA looking for potential evidence in the case, which will be presented to the LA County District Attorney's Office for filing consideration. And yes, like you said, bail was set at $550,000. He posted that, and now he's out on bond.
And now, did they find anything in the house, or we don't know that
We
yet?
don't know. I don't think that's
they don't find
up for
anything.
public. I don't know if that is like information that they can just give
A$AP,
out to
why
the
you
world.
got to do this? Why'd you have to shoot somebody?
It's also like November of 2021 was
It's not that long
Statute
ago.
of limitations.
really not that long ago. December, January, February, March. It was fucking 5 months ago.
Right. And I wonder
Like,
if it's
that's
one
crazy.
of those situations where ASAP like shoots somebody and then comes home and tells Rihanna like this was crazy. Like
Yeah.
I shot somebody.
I mean, Rihanna's pregnant at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't kill anyone. It's fine.
that is not true.
Just to scare him, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he shot him.
I hope that sometimes
He
people
hit
don't pick
the-
up on the fact that Noah's joking, but I do.
Am I?
And
The
He could have punched him and broke his arm.
what if the other
Probably
guy had
better
what
than-
if the other guy had a weapon?
because
and
this
we don't
is
know about it.
as far as legal terms. Like now, it
Yeah,
goes
it's a
from
weapon.
assault to assault with a deadly weapon.
Interesting. But if he had a bat,
I
That's
think that
assault with a
also
deadly
could
weapon.
be considered a deadly weapon.
but these could be deadly weapons.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Those knuckles are deadly weapons.
So
Me,
what
deadly
a
number
what
one
a
and
fucking
deadly weapon
situation.
number
Thunder
two.
and lightning.
Insane. He had no. I. It's crazy that he had no idea. Like, did ASAP just think that this happened and it was just going to be like it was never going to be talked about? Like maybe he had he must have
Maybe
had
it
an
wasn't
agreement
that
with
big
the
of a-
person.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't that big of a
I don't
deal when it
understand the
happened.
term
6 months goes
acquaintance.
by.
Like acquaintance. They keep using it. He shot an acquaintance. Like what level of acquaintance? Someone you meet one time, 2 times?
I think
a
acquaintance
friend?
is like someone you
A
work
Acquaintance.
with.
very low
Yeah,
level
like
friend?
I would consider a lot of people here acquaintances.
100%. I would too. But like
Acquaintance isn't just
Someone
there's
they've
still
he's
some
met a couple
there's still
times.
like a
I think more than that.
some sort of relationship.
Yeah,
So maybe they had maybe they had a
Yeah, 'cause
conversation
you
afterward.
don't just shoot a guy. I think you'd shoot someone that you know more than shoot someone that you don't really know.
I don't know. I don't
knowing
think
that you
should
could get
I
away
don't-
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
Either way, not good.
what a
Really
yeah,
not good.
really not good. Really not good because this could just blow up and who knows. I haven't seen any like real
It's getting
situation of what this could lead to, you know? Like what are the consequences
It's
here?
getting harder and harder for me to defend ASAP Rocky.
Yeah, that's
I-
tough.
I
That's a
love the
tough. That's a
Drake.
really tough one.
I love the Drake memes. There's one like where he's on his phone and it's like him texting Rihanna.
Yeah,
It's like, life with me wouldn't be this rocky. Like, call me ASAP.
Oh man, not a good week for them.
An argument between 2 acquaintances. ASAP Rocky's neighbor has told TMZ that the SWAT team showed up at his house so excessive it was like they were coming for Capone.
That's kind of cool.
The police broke into the property and left with a few items,
so-
but no update if they found the supposed weapon.
Where the guy got shot, you said it grazed his
His
Left hand.
left hand. So like, unless he has really bad aim, he clearly was not trying to like actually kill him or.
I mean, no.
We don't know that for sure.
What path are you trying to go down? Like that you can just shoot people
No,
as
I'm not
warning
saying that you
shots?
can. I'm not saying.
Like
that's
he's like,
good.
well, he didn't actually hit him. He was just trying to scare him. It's like, well, you can't
Maybe
do
he
that.
was.
You can't do that either.
No, you can't do that.
You can't do
but
that
one's
either.
way worse. Like intent matters.
Intent does matter.
Intent to
That's why
kill?
he's being charged with assault with a deadly weapon
Yeah.
and not like whatever 3rd-degree murder. No,
Yeah.
whatever whatever
Intent
not the
to kill.
Yeah.
whatever not the worst degree to murder is
first?
Which is first.
First. So third is that what?
Attempt at first
But
degree
that's
murder.
murder. He didn't murder anyone.
No, but you can argue like you could a lawyer could argue it was an attempt
Right.
Yeah,
to murder.
Shooting someone.
Like
yeah.
yes, you can argue
could
is
die.
like that's why you go on trial for murder.
Yeah.
It's like oh, trying to prove that that was the intent.
Ah, shit.
It's not good.
Not good.
Yeah. So now this is like I said, we have this situation that maybe this was all going down within the ASAP mob.
Psst, psst, not good.
I am joking, by the way. You can't shoot people.
I would hope. I really sometimes hope when people listen to this podcast that they know that we joke around sometimes
Yeah.
because it's really annoying when people don't understand that we are allowed to joke around. Like we're not everything that comes out of our mouths is serious.
No.
I certainly hope people know that you're joking when Joey and Pat air on my.
Oh yeah, I certainly hope that as well.
Yeah, and you are right, and that Noah's very clearly joking. It's his tone.
But that's what makes a joke even better.
No, I know.
When someone's tone is so dead.
That's why I'm saying in defense of people listening, sometimes if you don't know Noah personally, it's hard to interpret.
But I do think that people
Sometimes
don't, like,
I feel like you make it seem more like I'm not joking.
by the way you
sometimes
respond.
I can't
like-
tell. I'll be honest.
I think I help
Sometimes
out
I
because
truly
I'm
can't
usually
tell.
laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is frustrating when people don't think that we could joke around.
I gotta say, feel really bad for Rihanna.
Yeah, I feel bad
This
for
is
Rihanna
just
too.
like not like
She doesn't need this on her plate right
no,
now.
really does not. That's like a total disaster. After the week they already had into this, it's nonstop.
And it seemed like they had a good time on jet skis in Barbados.
I know, it was like, oh, everything's okay between them, everything's good. They're in Barbados, and then this happens. Really bad.
Shit.
So there's been a ton of speculation, I think, about Joe Alwyn and Taylor Swift's relationship. I would say last year or so, of like, are they engaged? Are they married? Did they secretly get married? Are they not? Or is it none of that true? And he is starring in a new Hulu show, which I'm very excited for. Conversations with Friends, which is Sally Rooney, who did Normal People, the book, same author. Gonna be very good. He's got to do press. Everybody wants to just ask him about Taylor Swift. That's the name of the game. I would do the same thing if like we get our booking team sends us all people who like have new shows coming out, movies coming out, and we can say, like try and get this person. They did send Joe Alwyn. And I was like, oh my God, if you came on our show, how do you not ask about Taylor Swift? So I feel like that's just how everyone feels. And let me tell you, that guy is a vault locked down. He's not telling anybody anything. Nothing. He's been asked multiple times. He's like, I'm private. We're private. He's not sharing anything.
Yeah, and then you wonder, you're like, you're never going to get anything out of them. But then if he doesn't get asked, then everyone's like, why wouldn't you ask him? And it's like, well, he said so many times they're private. How many times is he going to say they're private? But I guess he has to keep saying that. I respect it. I think it's good for them because, you know, Taylor Swift's relationships have been so public and people always have a lot to say about her relationships and ridicule her. So I think them keeping it a private thing is nice for them, and they probably enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah, I do hope it works for them. He was point blank asked, like, are you guys engaged? And he said if it was a yes, I wouldn't say. And if it was a no, I wouldn't say. So clearly they're never going to reveal that unless maybe it comes from Taylor when she decides if she wants to do that or not. It's not going to come from Joe. I don't know. I think I get it. Like, I get it for them. Sometimes I just put myself in the Taylor Swift shoes, and like, she's obviously mega famous, but from her music and everything that she's written and said, it has always felt like she just wants a love, like a great love.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just saying, like, I'm not, I don't know how it feels to be that famous and have people be that intrusive in your life. So yes, maybe the most important thing in your life you do want to keep extremely private. But if I was like so in love and was engaged or gonna be engaged or married, I don't know, and my significant other did not want to say anything about the relationship, I'd be like, well, why don't you want to tell people how in love we are?
Clearly is like telling him to
No,
not say
but
anything.
I don't know. Is it her? Is it him?
And
her.
I think in
It
some
could
way,
be him.
It's definitely her.
I think it's her. It could be him, but
I don't know.
I think in some way,
I've heard whispers.
But like, she hasn't said anything.
No.
like if you're her and your fans are rooting so hard for you to find that love as well, wouldn't you want to let them know a little bit, like, hey guys, I'm happy.
Yeah, but
Sometimes
I get it.
I understand and I respect the privacy, but sometimes I get mad. I'm like, why? Tell us.
I know.
But then you're like,
know.
that's not right.
and I do think when you've been in so many public relationships as she has, then the one that maybe you really do think is the one you keep close. I mean, just listen to the lyrics of some of the songs she wrote on Folklore, like, and
Remember?
Evermore. Like, You'll Never Peace.
Oh, great song.
Remember
Yeah?
when everyone
You liked
thought
that
she
one.
was going to come out as gay
Yeah.
with the Lover
Was
album?
that true? Remember when she like
was a big
was in
one.
a suitcase, like in a box?
Oh yeah,
like,
people thought she was being carried around in a luggage.
Yeah. Yes. That, I
Luggage
mean,
guy
I'm still in
Trent
on
carrying
that.
her.
But it, like, in Peace, literally the lyrics, all these people think love's for show, but I would die for you in secret. The devil's in the details, but you got a friend in me. Would it be enough if I could never give you peace? Like, it's just...
She said I would die for you in secret.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want anyone to know.
I just think it's from all sides, I think.
She's the brains of every operation.
I think she runs the relationship.
Certainly.
She runs her current relationship. She runs her past relationships.
Yeah, there's just my
man Jake.
Yeah. Well, I know. She's just not. I guess we're never going to know unless she tells us herself. But the fans do go nuts, and they do think that there could be some sort of engagement that has already happened. I know, like, there's always Dumas postings of, oh, they were seen looking at wedding venues in the UK and things like that. So
Wait, where does she live on the East Coast? Rhode Island?
yes. No, Cape Cod, I think.
Or is it the Cape? Yeah.
I think it's the Cape.
Yeah.
Or did she have...
She bought a giant mansion somewhere on the East Coast.
No,
I thought it might have been the Cape, but now
I think it's Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yes, Rhode Island.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be a cool place.
She went to the Cape because she went when she dated the Kennedy. They have their compound on the Cape.
Yeah.
She spent time there. But I do believe she has the house on... Yeah, her house is Rhode Island. But, yeah, I guess... I don't know. I'm like... If it was me, it'd be hard not to scream it from the rooftops. But when you're hurt and you've had probably a lot of bad luck, you probably don't want to say anything at all to anyone. You know, the route I probably would go is the route Sophia Richie went when she just got engaged, reposting every single person that tagged her and congratulated her, reshared everything, close-ups of the ring.
Yeah.
She reshared like 30 Instagram stories. I'm like, that would be me.
Yeah.
She seems very happy.
I actually also
pumped
thought
for
that
her.
looking at Sophia Richie. I was like, that, and she said forever isn't long enough.
Oh.
That's so sweet.
So sweet. And she was like, it's the total opposite. Like, she shared so much and her
Definitely.
ring is stunning. You got Scott posting good luck Chuck jokes.
Yeah.
So it's totally two different approaches. I'd probably go with Sophia.
Yeah.
Richie.
I always thought that maybe I would go, that I didn't care, but now I do.
Yeah, I just think that, you know, sometimes you just want to be like, I'm in love.
Shout it to the world.
Yeah, exactly. So I just feel like sometimes I wonder why Taylor
It's
doesn't want to do
backfired
that
in the past.
Yeah, that is
True.
a good point. It has done that. So I get it. Keep it as private as possible. But Joe, can't give us any hints.
She'll only make it public if they break up. And
Yeah.
And then
No,
write songs
like,
about
write
just-
it.
songs about it.
Nothing. Like, and he is really, I mean, good for him because that's got to be a tough spot where you know you have to do press for this show and you know you're going to be asked about it and you know your girlfriend, fiance, wife, whoever she is like, don't you fucking dare say anything. All right, ladies, summer's around the corner. Everybody's outside. Everyone's in bathing suits. And guess what? I mean, maybe your man likes a Speedo. You know, everyone's got their
Everyone
choices.
has a preference.
Exactly. You don't want it looking a little unkept. You want it looking nice, clean. We have the perfect product to make sure that your man is looking great all summer long, and that is Manscaped. Manscaped is here to save you from the ick with their 4th generation performance package, which includes their signature lawnmower 4.0. That includes the performance package 4.0, also includes, like I said, the lawnmower 4.0, the weed whacker for ear and nose hair trimming, the crop preserver, crop reviver, and the magic mat, which are disposable shaving mats. I'm telling you, these products are all amazing. The lawnmower guys love. It's a easy, quick way for them to make sure that they're clean down there. Things are looking good. So get 20% off plus free shipping with the code CHICKS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code CHICKS at manscaped.com.
Q&A time. This time we're talking about advice. People asked us questions that they want advice on. You know, we're no experts.
Should we ask people for topics if people don't
Yeah.
like what we're choosing?
Right. Send in topics. If you don't like what we're talking about,
Yeah.
send in what you want to hear us talk about.
I guess we could kind
Fan
of
Friday. Friend.
we could always keep them. We could literally do an AMA every week. Like I do
We could
like
do that.
AMAs.
We could do an AMA every week, and it could literally be about yourselves. It could be
Yeah,
advice.
could be about
advice. This is an advice segment. So
Okay,
you
we're
guys
doing advice
commented
today.
things you want advice on. This question I saw commented a couple of times, and so I'll just round it up, and I won't read the exact comment. But people want to know how we are so confidently ourselves because we are individuals.
Yeah.
And we are both very different, but we are very confidently ourselves.
Yeah. For me, I'd say it's not all the time. Like I think I like to try and be as confident as possible, but I don't know, like I've become more confident in my personality because I just know that is me and I'm never changed. Like I'm not going to change that, and I like how I am, my personality. But confidence on the outside wavers all the time. Like that's just comes and goes. Sometimes it's high, sometimes it's really low. It's not always there, which I think is okay.
Yeah, I think that is for most people. I think
Yeah.
even the most confident looking people, and I think from my Instagram, people would think I'm super confident all the time. You rolled your eyes a little bit.
I did not.
A little bit you did. Sometimes you don't realize your reactions to me, but that's okay. We're
I
working
did
on
not
it.
roll your eyes. I did not roll my eyes.
okay.
It was more like I laughed. It was
Yeah.
a laugh.
But I mean, I'm not confident like that all the time. Mine also wavers, but also just knowing that people, like there's some people out there in your life that look at you or talk about you in a way they're like, I wish I was that person. And I'm not saying just us, but like your friends probably think that about you, your family. People look up to you in ways that you don't even know. Like I know that I look at my friends and family and people in my life where I'm like, I wish I had that aspect. I wish I had that trait for myself. And everyone is so uniquely yourselves that you don't want to be like other people because then you would just blend in. And
Yeah.
everybody is, I just take it as like, I'm myself and I don't want to be like everyone else.
That is a good point. I don't really have any I don't know. Like what is the tip there? Like what is the
I think the tip there is to remind yourself that, and this is so cheesy, but like you are uniquely you. You look a certain way because two people came together and made you look that way. Like it's very weird to think about, but I've always wanted to like change things about my face, my nose or whatever, but I've grown to appreciate it because I'm like, wow, my parents made me. That's really cool. And you're so uniquely yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like personality wise, you want to don't ever like compromise yourself to try and like quote unquote fit in, you know?
Oh no.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot like as far as when it comes to us being our own people and things like that, like we're not adjusting to fit what we think other people want.
Yeah.
Which I think is important.
People like in terms of like, oh, I want to like seem cool or
Yeah.
People could read right through that.
Yeah, totally.
And you could tell when somebody is being truly themselves. And that's what people are drawn to.
Mhm.
Like people are not drawn to other people where you could tell that they're not really being themselves.
Definitely.
So, and if you like something, don't be afraid to like it because there's a million other people out there that like the same thing as you. But maybe you're not your friend group doesn't.
Yeah.
But there are millions of other people that do.
Yeah.
So
There was and you guys haven't heard it yet because it hasn't come on, but that just reminded me of the two girls we played trivia against for Monday. One of them had said that they were like a closeted Harry Potter fan, and I was like, let it out. No
Yeah.
need to be a closeted fan.
Honestly, when I was younger, that was me with John Mayer.
Yeah, like
But then, like in high school, it's just like fuck it. Like
Yeah.
John Mayer's
You
sick.
what? I don't know. I mean, I get why people get embarrassed because some
Yeah.
people are mean and make fun of other people.
people make fun of me
but-
all the time for having the likes of a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
I'm not changing them.
And this is terrible advice, but I'll say make fun of them back for something. They probably like something that you think is weird.
Yep.
Right? Like everybody has a little something that nobody agrees with.
Yep.
So I think that you should just like whatever you like
Yeah.
because there are millions of other
Squishmallows
people
are
that
made
like
for
the same
small
thing.
children. I love
Yeah.
them.
You are people. There are millions of people out there that are like you. So if you think you're alone in something, it's not true. A lot of the questions are pretty similar. Advice on taking on the risk and moving into a new city, which I'm not exactly sure how we'd answer because I've never left New York.
Yeah. I mean, neither have I.
I feel like that you could also answer that as like going to college, you know?
Yeah,
Similar.
but it's different though, because when you leave to go to a new place and you're entering maybe a new job or something like that, you're moving. I think it's a lot harder to meet people than college.
Yeah.
Like college, there's a million of you going to college. When you move somewhere new for work or other circumstances, whatever it may be, I don't know. That is hard. I've always felt like, and this is just from knowing people who have moved to other cities and things like that. Like I have seen friends come together who did not know each other before, but like maybe they have a friend of a friend. Like ask for connections. Like say you're moving to Charlotte and you don't know anyone in Charlotte, but you know that you have friends who are in Charlotte. So it's like you can ask to be connected with people, because sometimes I feel like knowing that there's a mutual connection somewhere helps. And I know a lot of people always say, oh, there's Facebook groups and things like that, or just hanging out with people from work. But
is big.
Trying to maybe connect with a friend of a friend of a friend. It could be a 6 degrees.
But somehow you know them through somebody, because meeting a total stranger is also very scary.
Yeah, it can be for sure. But we've never really flown the nest.
No, we have not.
Yeah.
So maybe one day.
Yeah. We're on a move.
Rhea wants to move so bad.
I want to move so bad. Not now, but
yeah.
Would you move to LA or no? Just Florida?
No. I wouldn't move to LA. It's not just Florida, but I wouldn't move to LA. I think I would hate LA.
Yeah, no. I'm not moving to LA.
I have
What
no
about
desire.
anywhere on the West Coast?
No. I really like the East Coast.
So like where else would you move other than
and
Florida?
that would be
then?
so far from my family.
There's nowhere else other than Florida then.
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the only place I'm interested in at this moment. How to stop a toxic, endless cycle with a significant other. You got to just cut it off. I know that's like the easy answer, but some people really don't know how to just cut it off, block them, whatever you have to do. And it will be really hard at first, but then eventually it'll be a lot easier. But you really have to take the necessary steps to just cut it off.
Yeah, I do think that, especially if you're in a cycle and the same things just keep happening and happening and happening, it's never going to end unless you really try and work as hard as you possibly can when like the pattern starts to show up, to eliminate it or talk about it. Or like if it's a relationship that you feel like is worth trying to save, therapy is great. But other than that, like, yeah, if it's really bad, it's not worth it. It's not worth saving.
Yeah, I think that there are some that are worth saving, but then others where it's like, do you even like each other that much? Or are you just, you have to ask yourself, do you like each other that much? Or are you just addicted to the endless cycle? Because some people just get addicted to that rush of like, when it's good, it's good. And when it's bad. And they want it to be good again. And then it's like an up and down roller coaster you get addicted to.
Yeah.
But you have to ask yourself if you really love that person, because a lot of times the answer is like, no, I'm just so comfortable with this relationship.
Yeah.
This is a more catered to this person specifically. So I'm talking to this guy that I've never met, but we only live 25 minutes away from each other. We've been talking for a while, but I don't know if it's because he thinks we're friends or because he likes me. He hasn't mentioned meeting me yet and hasn't been super flirty, just silly and sarcastic. What do y'all think I should do? Should I ask him out first, or what he thinks this is? If you're interested in him, ask him out if he lives only 25 minutes away.
I wonder, she didn't say
She
how
didn't
they
say
met?
where they met.
Because if it was like online or something like that, I don't really think he would be, like, it'd be kind of interesting if he just was continuing to talk with no interest of ever actually connecting in real life. You know, if it was on like a dating app or something like that. If it was like in a bar, but they've never met in real life, right?
No.
So I feel like it has to be like a dating app, no? Or
I don't know. I'm assuming a dating app.
I'm going to assume a dating app. And if that's the case, ask him out. Because waste your time? You're gonna keep talking to this guy that you're interested in? He just sees you as a friend, and you could go weeks on end, and he's just like, do you want to just wait for him to be like, oh no, sorry, just think of you as a friend, after you've been like putting in work trying to talk to him?
And the worst thing that somebody could do is say no.
Say no. And then
that doesn't.
Yeah. And then guess what? You'll never meet him in real life.
It'll be like a shock to your ego, but then at the same time, you'll get motivation to like talk to other people.
Yeah.
So it'll be like, ow, that person said no, but fuck that person. I'm going to go talk to somebody else.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of not beating around the bush.
Yeah, me
when
too.
When it comes to
relationships,
when it comes to dating. Like, yeah, the slow game is great and all, and you can work your magic and do your thing and get the guy to come to you. But if you've been putting in the work and you feel like it could be going somewhere, you got to vocalize it.
Yeah, I'm not really, somebody was asking about situationships and how to work that out. Not a big fan of games. No. I think if you're feeling a certain way, just tell them and ask them. And then you're presenting them with the question that they're probably thinking about themselves. And then the worst thing they can do is say no, or that they're not feeling the same way. And then you have an answer instead of sitting around wondering all the time and driving yourself crazy. At least you have some clarity.
Yeah.
Hobbies for people in their 20s. I don't have a single hobby, I don't think.
To be honest, if anybody would like to give us some hobbies,
please.
Hobbies for people in their 20s. I don't like.
What are hobbies? Sports?
It could be anything to occupy your time that you enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess reading is a hobby that I like to read.
I have no real hobby. I don't know if I have time for a hobby.
Yeah. I think like maybe.
And that was another question. What do we do for self-care? I don't know.
Yeah. If you're creative, maybe there's a like a side of that you could explore, or athletic. Like there's so many, especially in New York, there's so many leagues and rec leagues, and you could play dodgeball, softball, volleyball, all these basketball, like all these sports. You can join these teams. And I feel like that is definitely a good hobby if that's something that interests you. Or yeah, it just depends. How much time do you have?
Right.
You know?
Going to the movies.
That's like an activity.
That's like a activity.
A hobby, I feel like, is something you.
It's like, oh, you like picked up
you
knitting.
like cars, or you know,
But like,
you go to car shows and then you look up, you research cars all the time.
Right, like Sydney Sweeney revamping that car.
Yeah,
like that's like a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's hard to do in New York.
No, I know. Well, she just said in your 20s.
Oh.
How do you balance time with friends and your relationship?
That can be tricky because I think everybody in the beginning of their relationship is in that, like, I've been watching too much Real Housewives of New Jersey, in their love bubble, and you don't want anybody to pop your love bubble. And so you sometimes like find yourself only making plans with your significant other, and you just, I think it's good to set up at an early date when you do start dating someone to hang out with each other's friends, meet each other's friends. If it doesn't go well, I always take that as a sign personally. But if it does, you guys can hopefully all do things together where you can do group things, or you can do things just with your significant other. I think how I like to do it, you know, I always want to have like a scheduled date night on the calendar, sometime that I know I'm spending time with just him, and that's it. And then always mixing in a girls' night every once in a while, because you got to have that time. Like, and if you have a significant other that doesn't like when you have that, then it's going to be a problem. Like, I think you have to have enough trust in your significant other that like a girls' night or a guys' night, like they got to be able to do those things.
I think you need that. I think a girls' night is super important.
Totally.
I think that if you don't have like girlfriends surrounding you and you're in a relationship, and then you just end up feeling lost.
Big time.
Advice on feeling lost in your 20s. What do you do to fix it? I think if you're feeling really lost, you got to make a change of some sort. Some sort of, usually, and this is from my own experience, I was feeling super lost. And then I was like, what is going on? What is my problem? And then you make a big change, and sometimes that's the answer.
Yeah. I also think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to have everything figured out at a young age. Like, realistically, in your 20s, you have so much more life to live. And I always think of like the women we speak to who are older, who have been through a lot, like who joke and say they didn't know what the fuck they were doing in their 20s. Some say the 30s was the best decade. Some say 40 was. Some say 50. Like, it's just, I think that it's hard. I just think you can't like hyper focus on, oh God, I'm 26 and I should have XYZ and I don't have it. And what does that mean? If that is, some of the feelings of why you're feeling a little lost, or like my friendships aren't where they should be, or it's not like it was. I just think we all put so much pressure to have everything figured out, and you can be a little lost for a while.
I think that it comes from, at a young age, people being like, I want to be married and with kids by 25.
Yeah.
And like, we all thought that when we were younger, because you have no idea when you're 10 years old, because you look at everyone that's older than you as so much older than you.
And 25 seems so old.
Right. It's so old. But then you realize it's not old at all. And I think that everybody's still figuring things out as life goes on. Like, I think our parents still figure things out. Like, I don't think anyone's ever like dead set.
Totally.
So I wouldn't lose your mind about it.
Yeah. Try some new things, maybe.
Yeah.
Like you said,
make some sort of change.
Yeah.
Usually if you change something up in some way, the answer's there.
Yeah.
And then you'll feel settled for a little bit, and then it'll probably be changed again.
Yeah.
Advice on just living in New York City in general.
I mean, I love living in New York City. Advice for living in New York City. I think you should see a lot of the city. I think you should walk when it's when it's nice out, but like walk everywhere, go into little shops, go into restaurants. Like, there's just, the city has so much to offer.
Take advantage of the food.
Yeah, like the best restaurants.
Take advantage of the food being open really late.
Oh my God, and.
That's the biggest thing when you go to another city and you're like, it's midnight and you're like, oh, what? There's no options.
You're like, I'm so hungry. And
Yeah.
then there's just nothing. New York City is so big for that.
That's why I heard, like, even like the places that we're going in Seattle and everything, people are like, not like, just FYI, like things aren't open. Like,
I also think just like making sure you hit all the parts of the city, because sometimes you find yourself in one area, but there's so many different parts of the city. So make sure you experience all of it.
Yeah, go to the parks, go sit outside and just people watch for a little while. Like, it's just fun to see all that's going on. And there's so many events and like concerts, jazz clubs, music venues, like so many cool places you can go to see live music, all
comedy
things like
clubs.
that. Comedy clubs, some of the best comedy in the world. There's just so many things to do.
So much to do.
Yeah. There really is.
And did I do any of it when I lived in the city? Not much.
Yeah.
Because when you're then in the city and then you're in your apartment, you're like, I don't feel like getting up.
Yeah.
That's why I don't love living in the city, and I don't live in the
Dana
city.
Joked about when we lived, because you lived in our building, like we were like in the best location. Like,
and just
like,
did, and
me and Dana were like, we're going to regret like not doing anything. Like, we
Yeah.
just sat in our apartment.
I think I do more in the city now that I don't live in it, because I like want to do things. Whereas when I lived in it, I was tired. I just wanted to go to my apartment.
Yeah, there's a good Instagram account. It's called Secret NYC, and they just like always post a ton of like really cool things that are happening around the city, or great restaurants, or like like these rooftop bars are now open, all things like that, or underground happenings and all those things, which I think are really fun to see and check out.
Do you think that everyone, this is not advice, but I think it's a funny question. Do you think that everyone is destined to be great, or some of us are just born unlucky? I think that some people are born more talented than others, straight up. Justin Bieber is born with way more talents than
for sure.
us.
100%.
Some people have the ability to achieve more.
Yeah.
They're just born that way.
And it's not like, some just have a natural ability. Some you can build and grow. Like, you're not just born where it's like, oh, you're shit out of luck. You're not going to have any success because you can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like there's other ways.
You can
and
work
other
at things and
Yes.
get better.
Yeah, that's.
But some people are naturally born
that's a fun
talentless.
question.
How to tell your group of girlfriends they're all bitches?
Oh. Oh my God. I'll be honest. That's one of the hardest things.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah.
When something is bothering me, I just say it, because there's nothing worse than passive aggressiveness with somebody and people just not saying when something's bothering them. And then you're like, there's something off.
That's
like when I have a problem, I
Yeah.
just tell the person I have a problem.
Yeah. I mean,
And I know that's uncomfortable for people.
That sounds scary though, because it sounds like it's a lot of people.
Well, I wouldn't bring it up like you guys are being bitches, but I'd be
Yeah.
like, you guys are making me feel uncomfortable lately.
Yeah.
Is there something, I would propose it as something, is there something I did?
Yeah.
And then see what they say. And maybe, who knows, maybe you didn't do anything wrong or you don't think you did something wrong, but
Yeah.
they may have an idea that you did something wrong and you had no idea. Sometimes you learn more about yourself that way, being like, oh, I didn't know I made you feel that way. Just ask, propose it as, did I do something wrong to you guys? Because you guys are acting a little off to me.
Yeah.
I'm
I
going
hate confrontation.
Yeah, you're one of those that doesn't say what's wrong.
No, I'll say what's wrong. It's just like, it's harder in a group. Like, it's very hard in a group of girlfriends to have those kinds of conversations. Because it doesn't end well a lot of the time.
I would propose it in a way like, did I do something
Yeah.
wrong? Rather than call them out immediately.
Yeah.
Because you never
And
know
maybe
what
it's
they're
different
thinking.
when it's a whole group. I'm always thinking like when there's one person and everyone said like then the one person is like turns it on everyone else because you're ganging up on me, and it becomes a disaster.
Here's the last question.
Okay.
How do you make friends as an adult?
Oh.
I think that's everyone's always wondering how you make friends as an adult. I feel like there's a certain age where you just cuts off. You stop making new friends.
How do you make friends in general? Like when you were a kid, it wasn't like, let me
Yeah.
make a friend.
School. And that's why I think a lot of my friends come from work, because we're at work all the time. We are at work all the time. And like for me, I didn't go to college. I talk about this all the time. So it's like a lot of my friends come from here.
Yeah. The only new friends that I make are like mutual friends of people that like I haven't met yet.
Yeah.
Of friends of
Friends of friends.
Like that's
Yeah.
I don't.
It's never just a random
I
person
really
in
don't
a bar.
remember the last time I met like a random person
ever
and then
think
we
that?
became friends.
Though, like I'll be walking down the street. It happened to me last night. Well, usually it's more like if a girl walks by, and I'm like, in my head, like, oh, if I like went up to her, but like, I'll be like, oh, they look cool. In some other world, I would be like, oh, like,
Yeah, let's be
let's
friends.
just be friends. But
Right.
like that, I would never do that.
Yeah.
Some people have the confidence to do
Yeah, some
that.
people
Some
do.
people do not.
Yeah.
I don't.
I got to imagine at a certain point, like it changes when you start to have kids, and then like you just become friends with your kids, like friends, parents. You know,
Right. Or like you move into a house and you make friends with people on the block, your neighbors.
Yeah. Because now, like at this age, I don't really make any new friends besides like people. It's like, oh,
No new friends.
like, hey, oh my God, hey, like this is blank. I went to college with them. You haven't met them yet. And then it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
New friend. Or I guess like, I mean, but it's just like through work, we meet new people and become
Yeah.
friends with them. But like, I think it's very hard to seek out new friends.
Yes.
As an
If you're
adult.
on the hunt for new friends,
Yeah.
probably
That's tough.
it's not going to just
Yeah.
it's
to
it's
be
just going to
organic.
it's
Yeah.
going to fall on your lap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the best kind of friendship, because if you're forcing a friendship and you know it's forced and you don't enjoy hanging out with them.
You know what I think about? What's the movie? I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
Because he's like that kind of worked.
Yeah.
Actually, no, but that's a good example of like he was trying to force it, and then he just saw this guy at. Like,
Maybe like if you're, I don't know, maybe if you're at a new job or if you're at work and you find somebody that you have some things in common. I think I'm just describing us becoming friends at work.
Yeah.
It's hard to make friends as an adult, I think.
I think a lot of people become friends with their coworkers.
Definitely.
It's mutual.
Yeah.
You guys have something in common right off the bat.
yeah, ask them if they like Bella Thorne.
Yeah.
Ask them if they like pop culture, and then you might become friends.
Yep.
All right, that wraps up today's podcast. Guys, reminder, Seattle tickets will be on sale today, so go to the link in the description. Portland tickets still on sale, so make sure you buy those. Merch is still available, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We love you guys, and we'll talk to you on Monday.